Why don't I go this way? You go that way.
Oh!
Touch that! That's what you look like first thing in the morning. Walk this
Walk
way.
this way, yeah.
So is that your idea of foreplay? Oh! That reminds me of my youth right there.
Scott loves
Just
a
a
garage.
Well, there's some stuff I want, but
Give me a decent offer, for God's sakes.
I'm Scott Cousins,
I'm Sheldon Smithlands.
and we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and barns. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us.
Hey, we're getting fairly close to Winnipeg.
Uh-oh, oil light. It came on pretty quick, so.
I can't believe this.
You can tell I've done this in my former life. Where's your ass, Scott? Here, just hold this for a sec. I'm gonna shove it back in. Here we are. Yikes.
We're down a liter or more.
Yeah, I'd say more.
Yeah.
Let's hope she hobbles into Winnipeg.
Let's hope we make
Come
it to
on, Betsy,
Winnipeg.
please. We made it.
Whoa, that was a close call. Winnipeg's always been a good place to pick.
Whenever I've come out here, I've always bought something.
And I think it's because of the demographics. 100 years ago, Winnipeg was quite affluent. It was the Chicago of the North.
Exactly.
We're going to the flea market today.
The excitement that you've got going today is just unbearable.
I'm trying to be calm. I'm a little pumped here for the market. Whereas you, on the other hand, put on that gaucho hat. Scott's new look is totally my responsibility. I found his hat for him. Lo and behold, the rest of the look all came about in the same shop.
Sheldon found it for me. I always listen to Sheldon.
I'm quite proud of it, actually. Members of the opposite sex are really gonna like that look.
Would you date a man that looked like me?
You walk into this flea market and it slaps you in the face. Oh, man. There's stuff everywhere. Look at this place, Scott.
I love flea markets. I do, I love it.
It is a buffet for the eye.
It's fabulous. Why don't I go this way? You go that way. When Sheldon and I go to a flea market like this, we try to cover as much ground as we can, as quickly as we can. Well, most of the time, you're not going to get a screaming deal, but every now and then, there's a diamond in the rough.
There we go. That's a beauty.
What about your antler lamp?
They sell for about $7 online.
There's a lot of booze to cover.
A lot of stuff here. Sheldon, what do you think of Fat Elvis? What do you want for this?
25.
You know how some things are so bad they're good? This is so bad it's bad.
I'm driving around with a guy that looks goofy, and now he wants to start buying goofy stuff.
I don't think I can do 25 on Fat Elvis.
Somebody's got to bring us down to earth.
Stay, Fat Elvis.
We got to pick some merchandise here, so.
Any chance of seeing the Rolly?
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah. The 1972 Rolex pie pan, original bracelet,
Yeah.
riveted.
What are you asking for that?
I'd need about 1,800 for it.
Oh. To turn it over, I don't know that there's anything in it for us.
Yeah.
So what do you have on that Addison radio without the knobs there? They call it a farm radio because it was the cheapest version of that kind of radio.
It works, but on the back, there's a little chip missing. It's a couple $100.
Yeah.
Nicely made, boy, I feel well.
And they were used for shipbuilding.
Oh.
Still sharp. I think we'd be doing good if we could find one great item. Hey, senor.
Hey, you need that hat, man.
Just to rival you.
I'll buy it for you if you wear it for the rest of the day.
What we're looking for is something that isn't of any value here, but is back in Calgary. There's got to be something here we can buy and
What I
make
keep
money
saying,
on.
we got to leave with a treasure. Dig, Scott, dig. Go find me a bargain there. Come on, Scott, I know you can do it.
At this point, I'm thinking desperation is setting in. I got to get something. I'm getting hot.
I know Scott's gonna find something. He's so persistent, it makes him the ultimate picker's picker.
Hey, look. I look up and see a couple of fire hats. Can I see it?
Sure. This is an old leather captain's helmet. And this is, I would call this a lead hand's helmet.
It's leather.
Yeah.
I know that leather fire hats are tough to find. I had a chance to buy a Calgary one time and didn't.
Kicking yourself still, eh?
My guess is these would be, what, 1920s?
That's what I was gonna say, 20s. Condition is all important with something like that, and that was in excellent condition.
That's New York.
Does it say New York?
No, I've got a whole bunch of tie clips with that same insignia on. It's New York.
Okay.
The fact that it's an American one means it's going to be worth substantially more. The fact that it's a New York American one might mean that it could be really good. What would you want for that?
About 300. That's a fine.
Did you just make that price up? when
Out of
I
the
asked
air.
you?
I just picked it out of the air.
I was gonna suggest, what if we just swap for the gaucho? You never seen a guy picking a gaucho, have you?
I actually wear hats like that myself, yeah. Make an offer.
Let's take our best shot.
I was going to say 2 on the pair.
2 on the pair.
That's what well, you said make an offer. That's the offer I was going to make.
I'll tell you what, fellas. Because I want to make you happy, I'll give you the pair for 300. Boom.
Quit hitting the good hat with the crappy hat, okay?
Easy on that, Rick. 2.
All right, you offer me 2 for this, and I'm offering you this for $75.
Don't touch
This is a joke.
Don't touch this.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to risk it again.
I'm in between you to referee.
All right.
Yeah.
2 1/4 for the pair.
2.5 for the pair, you got a deal. Let's shake on it right now. Very good.
Don't touch that.
Pleasure doing business with
Of course it is.
you. We've done all the damage we could ever possibly do there. We walked out there, I think, with one exceptional item.
Well, the best item in the place by far.
All right, we're out of here. A few blocks up this way and turn right. We're going to see the ultimate Frankenstein collection. I thought you'd get a kick out of this, and we're not too far away. Jeff's a serious collector. Stick with me, buddy, because I might even find you some Dracula stuff.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I stayed up late and watched a Dracula movie. Holy smokes, that scared me for years. Used to go to bed with a Bible after that. There's Frankenstein right there.
This has got to be the place, eh?
That's what you look like first thing in the morning. Coffee!
Scott.
I think it's just a mannequin.
Hey, guys.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Good.
Scott Cousins, how are
Hey,
you?
Scott.
I'm Sheldon.
Hi, Sheldon.
Frankenstein, Einstein, all the Steins.
It's sort of like the Frank Einstein whole...
Nothing like a bad pun, right?
Hey, well, let's go inside and take a
Sure.
look at the collection.
Come on in.
Wow.
So, this is it.
This is it.
My basement is not a very typical rec room. This is where I've dwelled for many years.
Jeff is a serious collector.
It's got a lot of Frankenstein monsters and Dracula and a few mummies.
There is a huge, huge market for this kind of thing. Comic conventions far outstrip any other kind of collectible convention. And this is a subgenre of the comic movement. So there's a ton of people that would love this stuff.
Everything's for sale. I've been buying and selling for about 14 years now. So I can let it go. I'm not attached to really too many things.
I see something I like already. Marty Feldman from Young Frankenstein. I love Young Frankenstein, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. That was a really good likeness of him.
Walk this way, yeah.
That's the goofiest look I've ever seen on a Frankenstein.
A lot of times what they do for the Frankensteins anyways, they'll take a scene from the movie and they'll replicate that. And this is the part where he's first speaking and he doesn't really speak. It's more like a growl, so it's out the side of his face.
So what's this one from?
This was made in very small numbers and it's wax. Wax is a real tough thing to do.
It's really creepy. The interesting thing about the modern genre of horror collectibles...
These hands are worth a lot of money.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Really?
...is that they're very expensive to buy.
Wax is a real delicate thing, and as you can see, it's been broken here.
It's not like you're paying $5 or $10 for them. You're paying $200, $300, $400 for them.
Tell you what, I could use a back scratcher every once in a while.
Let's say they were perfect. Be around $2,000.
Whoa! Find myself another back scratcher.
Yeah.
If somebody said you could keep one,
Oh, no.
one piece, which one?
Well, I guess it would have to be this, because you can't get this. This one was made in 1961, and it's very sought after by the collectors. That's on the album cover of Boris Karloff and Friends. When I first started collecting, I thought I have to get that mask, but I didn't know I would end up getting the actual mask off the cover. So I'll never sell that one. Never.
So is that hard, or is it a vinyl mask?
It's a rubber mask that's being foam filled to help preserve the shape. I make displays and signs for a living, so that I repaint a lot of the stuff that I get because I'm just not happy with the paint job on it. I like to do silver screen look, which is black and white versus color, so I redo them just for fun.
He's a really good painter. So he had a little bit of himself invested in that whole collection. And what's the vintage of the collection?
Well, the earliest one is this, 1961, to more recently this one here, which was produced in 2008.
It's modern stuff that's of interest to collectors today. So there's a ton of people that would love this stuff. This is a great collection of stuff. Hey, look. This is the guy that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
That's a scary one.
He had a life-size Nosferatu. Historically, it's very significant in the horror genre. The character was first created in a 1920s movie called Nosferatu, a German expressionist film, absolute cult classic, almost the father of horror movies. And there is a particular level of horror collectors that love just him.
That was sculpted by Mike Hill, and Mike Hill is very renowned. His sculptures are of the best. I didn't paint this. Another fella painted the whole thing.
The eyes,
Take a close look at the
unbelievable.
eyeballs. Like, there's so much detail. Also the veins and the age spots, but it's the whole thing. It's all in the paint job. You see this, it's alive, but it's the whole thing.
I have a friend that's told me to keep an eye out for anything Nosferatu. He's interested, so it makes me interested. So what would you pay for something like that?
The head, I paid $500 for it, and the body was $200.
Painted or unpainted?
Painted, just like that.
A master painter had done that, so it's going to be the best of the best in terms of that particular item. But I didn't want one of the better things in the basement to be the first deal. So then I just moved on to other things and knew I'd come back to it. He is creepy.
That's right. This showcase is just mixed, you know, it's like a mixed bag of nuts.
Pee-wee looks so out of place there.
I
really.
agree.
Pee Wee Herman was a very popular kids' TV show host
I thought Pee Wee was going to take off. So I've got a few Pee Wee Herman items.
until he got caught in a very unfortunate situation in a movie theater. He's creepy, though.
Pee Wee is creepy for different reasons.
Interestingly, though, among adults, his collectability went up after that. And you got a recast Big Frankie, right?
Yeah, 64 was the original one.
15 years ago, you could get a lot of money for one of these, $600 for one of these things.
Yeah.
Now you can buy him for like $39.
Yeah.
So why are you going to pay $600
That's
for
right.
the old one? It's the worst thing it can ever do is reproduce
repro.
something.
Never.
And the hardcore collector doesn't want a reissue.
Right.
They only want the original one.
I saw one online
$1,000?
last year. No, $3,200.
Wow.
Because it's still in the box. There's a big market for kits that are untouched.
And the box art on some
the
of
box
these
art.
was fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous art.
Oh, I feel like I'm at a at a convention here. What does your wife think, Jeff?
Well, my wife's pretty scared because she has to walk from the garage door all the way through here, right past and under Nosferatu, and she's a little shorter, so it's looking right at her.
So is that your idea of foreplay?
It's not working anyway, if it is.
So, Jeff, there is a guy that has told me to look out for something like this, so try to make this work price-wise.
Right.
Are you looking to get out of it what you paid in it?
I'd like to get close.
He's paid a retail price for it because he's a collector.
The head, I paid $500 for it, and the body was $200.
One of the strategies is you try and ground your position. So if I make the first offer and it's way low, can we do 500? I'm gonna bring him closer to my number than him bringing me closer to his number.
That's kind of low. Is there anything else that you see in here that you're interested in?
I presume the stuff over here is for sale.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I got my eye on. Well, I really like Marty Feldman, the Young Frankenstein, and it's a fun piece. It's hilarious, and I know a dozen people that would love to have that. Pee Wee Herman, I know I can sell that, and a Frankenstein.
That's a Frankenstein poser. But it's more of a toy, and I'm more into the realistic things than the toys. What if we did $775 on everything?
One more offer.
Okay.
With everything. $750, Nosferatu, Marty Feldman, Pee Wee Herman, and a really bad Frankenstein.
You got a deal.
Okay. I'm happy with that. It was fun seeing it, plus I'm doing a favor for a friend.
I'm happy with the price. We're only caretakers for so long of this stuff.
Jeff's a good guy. He loves his stuff. I think just to scare people, we might leave him standing up.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Mrs. Jeff gets a break. We got the guy in the van.
The count is down for the count.
If Mrs. Jeff had been there, Sheldon and I both would have got a hug. He is an ugly SOB, isn't he? They'd make a good pair. They should maybe get married. What do you think?
I don't know.
It was fun seeing that much Frankenstein around. Man, you're a good-looking guy, Marty.
It was a pleasure spending the day, and just don't get stopped by the RCMP, though. They'll see the count in the back, and that won't be good.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks a lot. That was pretty impressive. Can you imagine the amount of money he must have invested in that place?
So this should be a good pick.
Yeah, you're right about that.
We're going to see Morley. He's a serious collector, and he's been doing this for a long time. So Morley's got some Inuit carvings.
And it sounds like he wants to get rid of some of it, or his wife wants him to get rid of some of it.
Winnipeg was a focal point for Inuit art. In the 1950s, it became popular and started selling in the South.
There we are. Hey, look, there's a pair of lions. Oh, look at all the stuff in the...
Oh, yeah, when you look closely.
You can tell where the antiques people are by looking at the stuff surrounding their house. This must be Morley's house.
Hi, Scott.
I'm
Morley.
Sheldon.
Sheldon and Scott. My son.
Hi, Michael. I'm Sheldon. How long have you been collecting, Morley?
40 years.
And what's the pride and joy of your collection?
My wife.
Oh, you're a smart man.
Yeah.
I'm married to a lovely lady by the name of Marlene. I'm 80 years of age. I live in this palatial mansion.
Morley collects a lot of things.
I'm a collector of antiques, paintings, sculptures, and art. I love that stuff, you know?
We want him to sell because he has too much stuff. We need to make space on the house.
I see something up there that I want to ask you about. That is either a Darth Vader figure or a Buck Rogers figure. I'm always looking for pop culture action figures. Can I go up there and look?
Yeah.
Let's see what I can do. And I could see up on the top shelf the legs and arms of what I knew immediately was a 12-inch doll.
Scott doesn't miss much.
Nope. Battlestar Galactica. That must be yours.
Absolutely not.
No?
Never seen it before.
Mine.
You bought this?
Yes.
Why did you buy this?
Because I liked it. I liked it.
This is 70s. Gun's broken off, unfortunately, on this guy.
So if you want it, you make me an offer minus the gun, that's all.
Yeah, immediately I could see. Morley's a funny guy, quick with a joke.
Yeah, I'll give you twice as much if you get me the gun.
Good luck.
When I buy something, I have to hide it. My wife says to me, where did you get that? I said, oh, I've had this for a long time. Just moved it around.
It's like a little shell game.
Yeah. You know, so that's the story.
Can I just put him here on the roof of the car for now?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Well, why don't we go in the house, see what we've got?
Go ahead, do it,
after you.
and whatever you like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Walked into the living room and there's art everywhere.
As you can see from the house, it's all over the walls and all over the place. But I think they're running out of space for all of his stuff.
That looks like a Tony Allison there.
It is.
Morley? I knew that we're going to have some trouble because most people don't even know who Tony Allison is. A very good Manitoba artist. Now, just out of curiosity, would that be something you would sell?
Yes.
And if so, what would you sell it for?
I don't know, about $800, $900.
Already quotes me full bore retail price for it. Right there. I quite like this painting. Who's
That's
that by?
Josh Kakagamic. He's very good, but
Yeah.
I cannot get any more. I can't.
So what would a painting that size sell for? if
That
you were
one
gonna
would be
get rid
close
of
to
it?
$2,000.
I like that painting a lot.
But tough for a couple of Alberta pickers to make any money on
Oh,
it.
well.
Yeah, our problem is, just so you understand where we're coming from, we're not looking to sell at a retail level. We're looking to buy sort of in low to medium, sell medium,
Yeah.
and then let the other person make the top dollar.
I understand. And when you see something around here and you like it, make an offer.
Okay.
I understand exactly where they're coming from. They're out to make a dollar. Why not?
Can I play?
Sure thing.
I learn something about Sheldon every time we go on a pick. I didn't know you were that good.
Well, I'm not.
God, you play fast.
I don't care
If I ever get back.
It's root. I've handled lots of player pianos, but they're always uprights. That was a dandy.
Like the singer.
God, he plays really well, you know, doesn't he?
I think he was a soprano in the choir at school.
Yeah.
You're sure amiable, Morley.
I try to be. Come on, guys.
I'll follow you. Wow. I love to see Inuit art. Lots
Just
of
take a
carvings.
walk, take a good look.
It's a lot of them. It's a sort of an interesting but crude
Yeah.
piece, right?
He definitely collects carvings. That's for sure.
The problem is when you got a guy that collects Inuit art,
I got about 80 pieces.
he's usually paid a lot of money for it.
What's this one here, Morley? That's unusual.
A lady lying on her side.
Yeah.
I guess she's thinking. I don't know.
The best of the best is worth astronomical amounts of money. And that goofy one that looks like it's an eagle. What about one of those? What would that sell for?
You only ask about the expensive stuff.
I always gravitate towards the folksy, naive-looking pieces. See, I like the primitive stuff more.
That's primitive.
Inuit art is primarily soapstone carvings. Inuit were nomadic peoples, so early carvings were quite small.
Looks to me like a spirit.
They carved subjects that were spiritual, a lot of animal figures.
And it
There's
looks
one
like
wing. Where's the other wing?
Who knows? I love that stuff, you know?
Do you have a sense as to what your price is in mind?
Of course. You go by whether the piece is nice or busy or whatever.
Well, because in this market, right,
Yeah.
what you paid for it is
Yeah.
about the most irrelevant characteristic.
That's
it could
right.
be worth 10 times as much or half as much.
That's right.
It just depends what the market says. But for example, what would that sell for?
That'd be close to $500-600. And I'm not far off.
You're not far off what you'd have to pay in a shop to get it, that's
Oh,
for
you're
sure.
paying a shop more.
My instincts are telling me Morley really doesn't want to part with this stuff.
What would something like that sell for if you were going to get rid of it?
About $800 or $900.
And his way of hanging on to it is to quote us prices that just are not going to work for us.
Why are all the ones I like more money?
Well, you only ask about the expensive stuff.
That's my problem. I have expensive taste.
That's whalebone.
Yes, it is, isn't it? It's petrified whalebone, dug up from the ice.
It's a nice piece.
Some holes in the side of it. That had everything you want in a whalebone carving. It was big, it was well carved.
It was a good walrus. Where'd you get this, Morley?
Some fellow brought it from the north, and I picked it up at an auction sale.
It might be 1 in 500 pieces of Inuit carving that's whalebone.
When you bought this, did it go for a lot of money?
Yeah, because it was rare. So if there's only one piece, you got to pay for it.
There's only one piece here. Do we have to pay for it?
Yes, they're cute and they're nice, and I will give them a decent discount.
So what would a baby like that cost us if we were going to walk away with it?
Well, I'd like to get close to $2,000 for it.
Wow,
I'd like to.
But I think that's closer to a retail price. What do they call that? Champagne tastes on a beer budget?
Yeah. When he says $2,000, even though I love the piece and would love to have it, can't even make an offer.
Well, why don't we leave the carvings for now? What else can you show us?
You have any toys?
Well, downstairs.
Well, let's check them out.
Oh, you got inventory here,
Oh,
Morley.
yes, I do.
This is where it's all at.
I do.
Show me some toys.
What do you want the toys? You big guy. Here.
Can I touch this?
Yeah.
Morley is clearly getting a lot of enjoyment out of the pieces he owns.
I just bought it just about 4 weeks ago.
That's a Julius Chen 1930s Ferris wheel. They made them right to the 50s. The one that's the most desirable is Mickey Mouse on the front, and I think it's got Mickey Mouse on the things as well.
But I have never seen one as nice.
He loves it, you can tell.
I enjoy.
Your airplane ashtray, what would you want for that?
Can't sell it.
He's attached.
This is the oldest piece right here, an 1885 puck.
What would you want for that?
Why? You want to buy it?
Maybe, if the price is right.
Not for sale.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, we have tried to convince him to sell.
Hey, that's a great piece, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It was a lovely little meerschaum pipe. As you smoke them, they darken. Meerschaum is a form of clay. It's soft to the touch, but hardens like rock hard. So what would you want for that?
300.
But unfortunately, he wants too much for all the things that he's got.
Do you have any more colored radios like this?
No, because I didn't bother with them. They're too cheap.
How cheap?
$20 and all that sort of stuff.
Well, it's not a great radio,
No,
but I'll give you 20 bucks for it.
I don't want to sell it for $20.
He's a crazy SOB, that Morley.
If you give me 50, I'll give it to you.
But you just told me it was a cheap radio.
But you asked me why I didn't collect it. As the time goes on, they get rare.
Yeah, as you can see, it didn't go so well for selling, but we tried.
We've been dealing with Morley, or at least trying to, for quite some time now. Where'd you buy that, Morley?
At a arms show.
And hadn't pulled the trigger on a single item.
Now, you got a little buffalo down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a little bronze buffalo. I'm thinking, well, maybe that might get us going.
So what would you want for that?
About $50.
Yeah, I don't think we could sell it for more than 50.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at selling it.
Every time I made an acquisition, try 40. It was the thrill of the chase.
Try 20.
No, that gave me adrenaline to keep going. My wife keeps reminding me that you die on me, I'll kill you, because our home is full. Anything you want before we go?
Well, there's some stuff I want, but the prices are not exactly...
Well, what are you concerned with?
Well, I love that whalebone sculpture.
Well, okay, give me a decent offer, for God's sakes.
But we're so far apart, that's the problem.
Scott is intent on that whalebone piece. Morley is not so intent on selling it.
All right, what's your highest offer? Come on.
Give him your best shot, Scott.
That's a beautiful piece.
Okay, you're not going to be insulted if I...
No, just don't be so stingy.
Well, I'm going to be stingy because I know what they sell for. Sheldon knows what they sell for.
God.
I happen to like this one.
Yeah, okay.
So I'd offer you 300 bucks for it.
Oh, that's nice.
But he said he wouldn't be insulted if I offered him. And I normally wouldn't pay that much, except I know I'm not going to get it out of you unless I offer you at least that much.
Okay, how about 4.5?
I loved it. I wanted to take that away. I'll tell you what. Cut to the chase.
Yes.
Throw in the buffalo and the carving for 400. Now, you got a little buffalo down here.
Done. Done. I gave him a deal. I really did.
It's gonna go to a good home. That's all I can promise
That's
you.
great.
Thank you.
Okay. I decided it's time. That's all.
Okay.
Hey, is there still some stuff outside, guys?
Let's go.
I asked Michael if he had any of the stuff he had when he was a kid, and the light bulb went on in his head, and he took me out to his shed. What do we have? Oh! I can see them from here. That reminds me of my youth right there. I mean, blacklight posters can sell for as much as $3,000 and $4,000. So these are got a date from the 70s.
Definitely. I won those posters at an exhibition here in Winnipeg.
Blacklight posters were sold in the 60s and 70s. They were 39 cents, 69 cents, 99 cents. I had a room full of them when I was a kid, but they're really collectible nowadays. What would you want for those?
Well, how about $20 each?
Whoa! Have you been looking on the internet or something?
Absolutely have.
These are better, though, than the ones you find at garage sales usually. 40 bucks for the 4? That's twice as much as I would have offered you for.
How about 50 bucks for the 4, and you can pull them off the wall right now. I've had these for 30 plus years.
Okay, done.
Deal.
Okay. Sheldon, you got that screwdriver. Okay, thank you.
I thought he was going to ask us because he was going to get screwed.
There's your chair. Thanks a lot, Morley. You're a hard man. Michael, you're a hard man, too.
It's a pleasure to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
We had a good time and we had a lot of fun.
As I was walking up to shake his hand, I saw that little Battlestar Galactica figure. Unfortunately, he's got the broken thing, so I'm going to offer you something. I have in my pocket $3.
Take it.
$3.
No,
take it or leave it.
Take it.
There you go.
Hey,
one last deal.
what a guy.
That hurt. But it makes my day.
We had fun. You know, you made my wife happy, and that's great. I thank you very much.
Okay,
nice to
thanks
meet
a
you.
lot.
Thanks for
Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Like a hood ornament.
Look where your toy is going.
Yes. Aha. Bye, guys.
Hey, that was fun. I'd say the odds are better than average. We'll hear from them again.
We've got a friend in town.
Mike's been in the business for decades, got a real wide range of knowledge.
We're going to take that fire helmet around to him. We want to get it appraised because we think it's worth a lot more than we paid. Mike is probably the most knowledgeable guy in the most number of areas in Canada.
I'm optimistic.
Is that the Houses of Parliament over there? Whatever
It
they call
sure
it
is, and you'll notice right on top is the famous golden boy.
He looks a bit like the FTD Fleurist guy. Now, he's just up here. There it is. It's a great, great store.
And he sure got it painted up, eh?
Sort of like the Sistine Chapel. I think the guy did it over about 10 years.
Let's go out and see Mike.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, this should be fun. Hey, Mike.
Holy Toledo.
How you doing?
How you doing, Mike? Wow. There's stuff everywhere.
There's quantities here, isn't there?
Been in business 31 years, selling all sorts of antiques and collectibles. I love it. 4% of the people love their job. I'm one of those 4%.
Yeah, we got something for you.
An old leather fireman's helmet?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's kind of unusual. You find something like this here, and leather helmets are extremely collectible. Being a New York helmet, unfortunately, they probably produced lots of them, probably more in New York than anywhere else, but still very desirable. And I know some collectors would just go crazy for this.
I could tell from the look on his face that he was impressed right off the bat.
You know, it's actually in really great shape for a hat of this vintage. I mean, you're looking at 80, 90 years old. If that helmet could talk, the stories it could tell, I mean, you could see the paint's melted on the top.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been into some heavy heat, and it's got a lot of character. The helmet was one of those sort of things, I wish I had found it instead of them.
$2 1/4 for the pair.
2.5 for the pair, you got a deal. Very good.
I think to the right collector, you may see as high as 600. It's a great piece. I mean, I'd love to have it.
Maybe even $700 in the right market. Bingo.
Now, can we pick anything here?
Anything in the store is for sale. If you leave empty-handed, I'll be surprised. No, we got lots to look at here.
Oh, there's something you don't see every day. King Cole stuff's really tough.
Very hard to find.
Like, that's a big maritime piece.
I bought that years ago, and I brought it home, you know, like a dog with a bone, and I showed it to my wife, and she goes, well, that's nice, but it's not going in our kitchen.
What would your blown-out price on that be?
I paid $100 for it about 5, 6 years ago, so 100 1/4.
We got a deal.
A done deal? Oh, look at that. You're not
right.
leaving empty-handed.
I've never left your store empty-handed, Mike.
Well, there's always something.
Now, judging by the dust, Mike, this one's been here a while.
That one's been there quite a while.
So I was digging around and found a little picture frame, saw that it was a Canada Paint Company store advertising sign.
That would have been a hanging sign originally.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that thing's no later than 1910. Turn of the century, graphically great, lovely thing.
What's it gonna cost us?
75.
Take the man's hand.
All righty.
Thanks, Mike.
Deal number 2.
We're starting to pull the trigger on things. We were happy. Mike was happy too. He thought we were just there for the appraisal. All of a sudden, we're starting to buy. So the ball is rolling.
There's a nice sign, porcelain steel.
It's great. The colors are nice. It's strong.
It's got one wooger that takes away from the desire.
It's a little
but it's
bit
not
of
a
fading.
terrible thing. And it's $75.
Yeah, it's a little faded.
Yeah.
You know, it's got some chips on it.
But we've been in guys' barns, and they think they're worth $350.
A mint one's worth $350. But it's got to be mint for $350.
But they're never
Not bigger.
$350 when they're in a barn.
Yeah.
So what would the walk-away price on that be?
That one there, $65. Okay. Another deal?
Another deal.
Holy spit, this is getting good.
Yeah.
I try to price the things so that it's fair to everybody, to dealers, to make a few bucks if I can.
Okay, like him. What would you need for him, Mike?
I don't even know what it is.
Looks like a German Shepherd or something.
He's a boot scraper. Good steel stone boot scraper.
Great.
Yeah.
$25 just to get rid of it.
Done.
Oh, another handshake. Hey, you gotta love this.
Mike, I love your juke. That just screams 60s Sputnik to me.
Since 1961, it's one of the last ones with the visible records. And the dome is just spectacular.
Yeah. It's one of the big four. You got Wurlitzer, Seaberg, Rockola, and you got AMI. Really cool space-age design, very desirable today. And what does a juke like that go for?
That one there is
You got
5,200.
52.
That's retail plus the 20% because Mike really likes it.
It sat in our basement for about a dozen years.
I think it's a little out of our price range. I gotta ask you about this. It's my wife loves cats.
Yeah.
It's a nice little Royal Dux cat. She has a white cat just like that one that our oldest knocked over and broke the tail on.
Got the original decals on it, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Very sort of late 60s, you'd think.
What would you need for him?
$25.
I'll buy it for $10.
Everybody's buying. Oh, you go.
My wife will be happy.
You're a hero.
I'll more than make my money back on that.
Well, I don't invite everybody out here. Fine,
Scott
right?
loves
Just
the
a second.
garage.
Yeah. Wow, lots of stuff in here.
A few things.
Oh, man. Mike puts the stuff in the garage that he really hasn't found a spot for in the store, so there's a chance that he's going to give us a better price on that than something that's in the store.
That's a nice horn.
Yeah, good old Morning Glory, you know, Edison gramophone horn.
If you have the machine and no horn, it's a nominal item. With that horn, you've got one of the better, more desirable vintage gramophones and the look to go with it.
$50 if you needed one. Another handshake. See, it was worth coming to the garage after.
Already, yeah.
A little bit of a mess, but then a garage should be a little bit of a mess, right?
Never seen this before.
You know, they're glass radios. shaped like liquor bottles.
Unfortunately, the labels are pretty much gone, aren't they?
Beggars can't be choosers in this business.
There's
right?
nothing you can do about
No,
the
nothing I
condition,
can
is
do.
there? That's an old store cosign, right? The image on that one's pretty good.
Image
isn't
would be
it?
great.
Oh, he's trying to pick her up, eh? Sell her a coat.
She's smiling.
And you got a gargoyle over here. Anything with an animal of sorts on it, I like.
The frame's been repainted.
It's a lollipop sign, would have stood out in front of the gas station. And what's the year of this one?
That one there would probably date right around the 40s.
The fact that there's not a bullet hole in this is shocking to me.
No, there's no touch-ups on it. There's one little nick at the base on the other
Right
side.
there.
It's a beautiful sign.
Somebody threw a rock at it.
Probably.
It's a great company, super desirable. I hate to ask the price. It's in the garage, though.
Yeah, because there's no room in the store. That one's $1,500. Yeah.
$1,500, is that pretty much retail on it?
Maybe I could do 10% on, so like $1,350 would take it away. The reason why it's valued at $1,350, it's a fresh piece. It's never been put in the store. It's fresh.
See, you got a Philco.
Yeah, Philco Predicta. You see how the tube twists on it?
Yeah. This is 59 to 61, I think, is when they
Somewhere
did it.
around there.
Do you know if this one works?
The picture rolls on it.
So the tube's not gone, but they're a good decorator item, right?
They've used them in so many TV shows, commercials. And
So what would you need out of the Predicta?
that one, $250.
Right. Bob's not the greatest nick, but
It's time to come up with an offer and see if we can put a deal together on these items.
well, Mike, I think the rubber's hitting the road here, because we got to hit the road.
You gotta get going?
The mobile oil we like.
Okay.
You've got to get $1,350.
$1,350 is it, yeah. That's as good as it gets, as they say.
What about the Predicta?
You know what? I don't want to sit out here for the winter. $150 and it's yours. Is that a good deal?
Well, I'm going to shake on the gargoyle piece.
Great.
And you can shake on the
Predicta. There we go. Hey.
$1,350 on the mobile sign, $150 on the Predicta, $1,500. Scott says we're going to do well. I'm ready to load.
Watch yourself.
It's yours now. So it's all going to get home in one piece, I hope.
It's all going to get home in one piece.
Well, hey, it's a pleasure. I'm glad you guys came by.
Hey, Mike.
Great seeing you again. I really appreciate it. I made a few bucks, and I think I'll take my wife out to dinner tonight.
Exactly. So tell Barb that we bought her dinner.
Yeah. No good.
Come back to Alberta. We miss you.
Well, maybe in the spring this time.
Okay.
All right.
See you,
guys.
Mike.
All right.
I'm really happy.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
That mobile gas sign, I really do think we'll do well on that.
Now let's make sure we've got Betsy is loaded with oil, aren't going to have any problems on the highway, and we just keep on rolling. We're leaving Manitoba with some good quality pieces.
Won't it be nice when we get home and we can sell some of this stuff?
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
I love picking, but I like selling more.
Selling. Which way do we want to go?